and events you want to be known, then amp them up on Amp It Up, our new online radio station. We want your voice to be heard, so spread the word on Amp It Up. Contact us at 866-224-5422 for more information. Let's amp it up.
It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And events you want to be.
Oh my God, where are we?
Hi guys, welcome to 2020 Vision. We are in the Brooklyn Cafe's brand new studio. Very exciting. Dawn and Freddie will tell you guys more about it, but I'm super excited to be here. I think all of us are super excited to be here. We have beautiful art. We're still setting things up. I just hung a curtain. It's a very exciting day.
Yes, it's the most exciting curtain we've ever seen.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it. It's even.
Yeah, sure, you can hold it.
I kind of begged Dawn and Freddie for us to do 2020 because we didn't get to have a show yesterday because we were moving in. Yeah. And I kind of begged to have this show today because there's something that I really want to talk about. We had a guest come on the show, and we're not naming names, we're not putting anything on there, but a topic was brought up that I really strongly disagreed with, and I really wanted to have other
opinions,
friends and producers' opinions on it.
And quite frankly, that is a great way to actually get a topic for a show that mostly is just meandering subjects. So why the hell not?
Why not? And the topic is, I want to talk about technology because I find that a lot of people in the generation before us, the baby boomers, are really against kids having technology.
Despite being the guys who made the stuff.
Well, besides that, despite that, I mean, I hate to say it, but you're watching us probably on a phone or on a computer.
Hi, Grandma.
People watch us on TVs, all the technology. You know, most of the social media marketing is on social media. It's on a phone.
Yep.
And yet so many people are against kids having technology. They're against, you know, kids learning all that stuff. And I just wanted to know you guys' opinion because hearing people bad talking it when personally that's what I do for a living. I do social media and I market and, you know, we obviously all produce the show. I was kind of like, oh, okay. So do you guys have any like strong opinions? Because I had very strong opinions on it.
So let's start.
And I know Hector and Manuel were both here for the show.
Yeah.
I think what's important to bring up is the issues that were brought up with it first. That way we can then tackle our counterpoints against it.
It's true.
Yes.
Topics are brought up, and of course, I don't remember everything, so
excuse me if you saw the show that I'm talking about and I misquote everything.
I didn't write everything down. We were moving.
But topics that were brought up were kids are addicted to technology.
That it, you don't know how to communicate well because you're addicted to looking at your phone. You're not able to be a just member of society. That was a big one. That's what I want to talk about first. Is that we're addicted. And personally, I don't. If you are addicted to your phone, I don't think it's the phone's fault. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's partially. And please jump in. I'm going to keep talking.
Someone jump in.
Platforms and the people who are on the platforms.
Why?
Like, I don't want to say this, but there are certain ones that how do I say it? They follow and they're bad.
There's like this. Okay.
So then I feel like that's the parents' fault for not having a stricter.
Do you think that kids are addicted to the social media platform or to the technology itself?
To the social media platform.
You think so?
That's what's giving. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I agree with that person a little bit, but not really. Because just because something has bad things doesn't mean it's really like it should be removed. It's just those habits need to go away, not the whole thing, just the habits.
So what do you think a solution would be? Do you think it would be parents more policing what their kids are on, or
Yeah, it's on the parents. It's on the-
okay?
and willpower, I would say.
I mean,
Uninstall.
I would say that the
Parents
parents
can
can
do
do
it Wi-Fi or
something,
something,
but I think you can do maybe like a putting
A time.
a time on it, you know,
A
like
time,
maybe
okay.
like half hour each day on each.
But that doesn't
platform.
stop the kids from seeing the bad things. What if you taught your
Filters.
kids? And something that Evelyn unfortunately isn't here today, but we were talking about was her and I are on social media all the time. And even as kids we were. But what about instead of saying, oh, there's bad people on there, you can only go on there 20 minutes because you're still going to see the bad people. What if you just taught your kids what good and bad is, and for your kids to recognize, like, oh, I don't think that's a very good person.
That's funny.
I shouldn't follow them.
YouTube's coming out with the new
Rule.
I think it's called COPA. So anything that if it relates to a child and it's bad, like it has any you might get fined.
Ooh, I remember that.
COPA, it's an acronym.
It's
Yeah, so
no idea.
I know.
there you go.
But who decides what's good and bad? Because there was a while that
So-
YouTube banned anything LGBT, any
To be
coming
fair,
out videos
to
or
be fair,
anything.
YouTube always had an issue with their algorithm. With their algorithms.
They keep changing their algorithm.
Well,
On
a
top
lot
of
of social
changing it, on
medias
top of
do.
changing it, it also makes it very. YouTube algorithms also make it difficult to do things like monetize
Yeah,
or
there's-
reference other things. Or
You can't.
use up-
No political
That's the
stuff.
other thing. A lot of makeup artists, because it is not content friendly, are getting demonetized. And
So
children's
yeah.
online privacy protection rule.
Yeah, we gotta for the YouTube channel. We gotta fix that. There's an option. Is this channel for kids? You have to change it so it won't be for kids, just in case. A topic, you won't get fined. You won't get fined like I think $40,000. Yeah,
$40,000?
Thank you for mentioning
because
that. Thank you
YouTube
for that,
says
Glenn.
they said that they can't. They have a program that like
They
will-
do.
but you have to choose if your channel is for kids or not. So there's an option.
But it's so easy. I mean, is it going to block anyone that's under 13
I think it's like for the
out
YouTube-
of things? Because it's
Yeah.
so easy. Like when I was 13, I could look up things,
But YouTube
really,
was
if
the
something says this is mature content, are you over 18? You're 13, you're going to hit yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
But
if
some
I wanted
kids
to watch
make
something
account-
political.
some kids make their own account.
I think it's
True.
more of YouTube's going to integrate like a
Talk
child
into
only mode, and you can click that for the
Yeah,
option,
they have
and it
them.
will lock them out. I think, and
That'd be
maybe
interesting.
require like a parent's like personal password to unlock it, perhaps.
That'd be
Okay.
interesting.
I don't know.
I
didn't
blame
read the
those
document. I don't know what's
social
going on
media
with that.
guys that are bad role models.
Yeah,
I can't say
there-
their names, but
There's a lot of things on all social media that they're bad role models, or
Whatever, yeah,
maybe
I
they
guess.
just don't align to your
Possibly.
morals or anything. Hello.
hello. No.
All
Hey
right.
guys,
well,
welcome to the new studio. We're trying to figure things out.
Isn't it great?
It's a work in progress.
It is, but it's
Yeah.
happening.
well, if I can at least interject for a moment,
Yeah.
is it weird to say that they've already seen this conversation happen way too many times before? And I don't even mean within this year. I mean like back when, back in the early 2000s, even before then, back when internet was now just a thing and dial-up, and the only speed you had was dial-up.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Yes, I still hear the sounds in the back of my ears some days.
Ah.
Back in the days of AOL.
That's a
Yeah, back in the days
virus.
of AOL and
That is
chat
how
room.
a virus works.
Back in the days of AOL and chat room.
So you think
In
that
chat rooms.
people, parents thought their kids were addicted to that at that time?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, it's only now that the DSM actually has gaming addiction as a thing. And to be honest, I can understand why. It's why, but at the same time, it really isn't any different to any other sort of addiction. And the symptoms the symptoms of withdrawal or not having your fix is not that much different than any other kind of addiction.
Okay, so here's a question for gaming addiction. Again, what do you think the solution is? Do you think the solution is banning kids from having games? Do you think the solution is creating a time limit where no one's allowed to play the game past a certain time? Do you think it's just teaching people the responsibility? Like, what is to be done about it? Because any way that you do, in my head, if someone wants to be addicted to something, they're going to find a way. You know what I mean?
It used to be with TV back then.
Yeah.
Like, I would say for the boomers, it was the TV was for the TV. Too much TV. Yes. No, I'm saying
Honest?
right now it's social media and gaming for the newer generation, but for the boomers it was watching too much TV. That's
But
what
that's the thing. Now we have more. So every
now
time
you
there's a
make
new
more.
thing.
you had outside.
Then you want to make more.
You had good temperature.
That's true.
No,
But then again, are you addicted? When someone says you have a gaming addiction, are they taught? Because I know my parents, my mom. I'm really sorry. I'm going to call my mom out right now. She's addicted to Candy Crush. Yes,
feel
the
for
game
her.
Candy Crush.
That's a good game.
Hi, Mom. You're addicted to Candy
It's still
Crush.
going.
It's so bad.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
As
feel
someone,
like
as someone who plays,
Yeah. I play video games every night, but
I hate video games.
really?
Why?
your refreshes,
Video game that I was ever addicted to was Madden football.
that makes
is a-
sense.
Started beating me at that.
that ends
Lost interest in ball games.
that ends relationships.
Yeah, I
That
play
makes
video
sense.
games every night.
No, I just couldn't win.
Is he a sore winner? Is your son a
Look,
sore winner?
but back to the idea of how exactly do you treat an addiction? I guess the only easy way I can think of is substitution. Just find something else.
Yeah.
Just find something else from the game to get interested in.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is the ability to identify these addictive personalities that people can have and to target it beforehand rather than let the issue drag out. If you start noticing issues, like maybe you should cut back on things.
Yeah.
But what about when it's kids? Is it like who's going to cut back? Is it the parents telling the kids, how do you approach it? Because if it's a 6-year-old, there's a lot of little kids on Fortnite. I know Fortnite's starting to die out a little bit. I'm aware. But for a really long time, that was the big game that kids were addicted to. My nephew not my nephew, my little cousin just turned 13. He's addicted to playing those games.
Do you know why he plays it so much? It's because it's free and because all of his friends are playing it.
True, but how?
It's easy, attainable,
Yeah.
entertainment
fun.
that he can do with his friends.
Okay, so who is the one to say this is enough, though? Is it the parents going on and, ripping things out of the wall and getting mad because they're not doing their homework?
They don't
Is
gotta
it
do it like
the
that.
kid's responsibility? Well, I know a lot of parents get upset. And I'm sure it is frustrating. Your kid won't do their homework. Your kid's not doing their chores. You're just sitting on the games all day. I understand that. I think it might be extreme because that's an expensive system, but I understand that.
Reward the kid.
But is it the kid's responsibility that the kid has to understand if they're younger that, I have to get off? Like, how do you come about that?
The
Is it
child
a-
has to learn. So, like, the parent should, I'll let you play and I'll buy you a DLC if you, don't play it.
Brad, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an ugly word. Reward the kid.
Reward.
So, like,
yeah.
positive reinforcement.
There you go.
I think this kind of reminds me of a Star Trek episode, but I don't have time for that.
So you think it should be like a compromise?
Is the person that you're talking about when you call it a kid?
I'm talking about like a 6-year-old. Because that's when I start, at least in my personal experience, that's when I
Consensus?
start to see
What's
kids
the
get
rating
addicted to
for
video
Fortnite?
games.
What's the rating for Fortnite?
I think it's
I don't know.
Teen.
Teen?
10 plus?
This,
Nah,
there's
that
a lot of
that kid
kids that
shouldn't
play
be on
those
there.
games.
Or teen.
I,
14.
probably.
when I was a kid, I used to play, not Fortnite, Call of Duty, and I was probably 10 at that time. Like, I was a
I
kid.
That's much.
Yeah,
that was
remember
like,
that.
you can get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kids that go to college,
Yeah.
Yes.
on their video games all day, that's not an addiction because they're not 6.
No, there is no.
No, I think
that's
it's still
still
addiction, but I think
addiction.
it starts whatever age that it starts at. And I'm just saying I personally see it start young, but it could start at, in your 20s. You can start in your 30s. You can start in your 50s, whenever it starts. But at that point, when you're an adult, I think that's the point where you should know it's your responsibility to say, I think this is a lot. That's no one else's responsibility. But when you're a kid,
Who are you talking about, the parent or the kid?
well, when you're starting a addiction at 50, that's your response. That's the adult's responsibility. Like,
Hard to find the parent at that point.
How would this be different if, like, times before internet and video games, to have a kid sat at home watching TV 10 hours,
That's the same thing. I think it's the same thing.
So I would say it's a parent's responsibility
Yeah.
to say, that's enough TV,
Yeah.
let's have a life. Same thing with video games.
But they would have to.
Turn the
Ins-
stupid computer off, to put your smartphone away, and do something else. That's the role of a parent, surely.
But there's the issue. But there's the issue. But there is one of the bigger issue is how do you get something else? How do you get them interested in something else?
Can we talk honestly on this show?
I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
I'm being
I would like
honest.
to talk honestly.
Parents use phones
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
as babysitters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even say
that's true.
it's like Hispanics use for Alzheimer's, and people get mad at me, but I seen it. I was part of it. Here's a sandwich, a Coke, and a TV. I'll see you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So isn't it easy to keep kids quiet and entertain and out of your hair if you're only 14 jobs to try to make a living?
But I don't think that's right.
It
If
is.
you're, it sucks. It sucks being there, and that's one of the things that, thank you, because I did want to touch on, is that it is, like we are saying, it's the parent's responsibility. It's your responsibility to tell your kid that's enough TV. But it's also your responsibility to, like Hector was saying, get your kid interested in something else. It's your responsibility to not say, oh, my kid is crying. We're in the middle of a busy restaurant. He's making a fuss. Here's an iPad. Shut up.
You ever see
Like-
a parent hit a kid, tell him stop crying, and hit him again? Stop
Yep.
crying, hit him
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
again? In the 90s, I saw
Oh,
this
that
in
happens
Boston the
now.
other day.
Oh yeah,
Yo.
totally.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, this happens all the time.
You gotta look at society as a whole, good, bad, or indifferent.
And we're,
And sometimes it isn't justified what we do. So do we tell parents honestly you're not doing a good job? We go from there?
No, you can't really do that because you can't really be sure what their bargainer deal is in life.
but what's that one reason?
That's a fair statement.
What reason do you have? I can't say understand because I've never been in this situation, but I can try and understand. You're working 3 jobs. I work 2 jobs. You're working 3 jobs. You have a kid. Maybe you're a single parent. You got an iPad for your kid to shut them up. That's great. But then in 10 years, when you're I'm sorry, that's the only way I can think of it. Because we used to do it with my little cousins, and now I'm like, oh man, we messed up. Because then in 10 years, when that kid is still dependent on that electronic toy to keep them quiet, but now it's a phone instead of a little kid's iPad, what are you going to say? And when you're coming up to, because I've seen this, again, I used to work at a coffee shop, and this is the thing that a lot of parents used to do. They used to come up, order their food, their kid is right next to them, not even look at me, on their phone the whole time. Yeah, I want a large hot latte with blah, 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 just on their phone the whole time, walk away, not even looking up from their phone. And your kid sees that. So then now you're an adult, you're telling your kid, get off your phone, get off the TV, get off the computer, but you're on your phone,
And you don't.
you're getting mixed messages.
Yeah, and you don't do anything about it.
And your kid
Hypocrisy.
sees you possibly texting and driving, which is illegal. And I see a lot. I was on the way here and I saw someone doing this as they were driving on the highway all the time.
That's a
But
ticket.
then-
So let me ask you a different question then, because you brought up a good point. If you are in the store, we just talked about this in Publix, and somebody is hitting a child, less than 6.
How hard?
Why not make the
Any,
child
if you're hitting a kid, it's not good.
do you intervene?
No, it's not. It's none of my business.
Do you do the New York City attitude thing and mind your business? Or do you go and say, ma'am, or dad, or whatever, I don't think that's going to keep the child quiet, hitting you. Do you do that? Because if you don't do that, you don't need to answer. If you don't do that, then maybe that's what's wrong with our society. We don't care.
What the good
Yeah.
Samaritan?
I think it's
Exactly.
not caring, but I think it's also a
You ju-
fear. I know that I would love to say,
I thought you were
yeah,
I'd love to hit.
yeah. No, I would love to say, like, yeah, I would go up and stop
But
that
you're not
person because
helping.
no kid should be hit. But also, I know that I have a genuine fear that I'm going to get hit.
Yeah.
Because how many videos do you see of some parent hitting their kid? Someone says, well, you can't do that. And that parent starts wailing on that person. I
Pretty
don't want to
much.
get hit.
That is
And people
kinda-
have guns.
The excuse is like, well, it's my kid.
If you're angry enough to hit your kid, what are you going to do to someone who you don't even know?
Which we
Let's call. But it's kind of
I
it's
ha-
sort of
has
the
to
good.
be how
It's
bad.
sort of the good. It's good. I think it's called the good Samaritan. The good Samaritan paradox. That you can't. That is easy. It's easy to. It's easy to imagine. And you're doing right
Have you ever
things.
intervened with somebody else reprimanding them?
Wow, it was going to continue, but thank you. But thank you, Frey. Let's go on.
What do you do?
N-
This is a simple yes or no.
I'm
And
trying.
if the answer is no,
I'm trying to freaking elaborate, but if you want to go on, okay.
no, but Hector, what I'm asking you is a real simple question. It's yes or no. It isn't an explanation. I don't want to hear as to why you won't or you don't. I just want to hear why society won't. the
Because
answer is
society, Well, if you want the long answer, if you want the short answer, is because society is made up of people who just want to mind their own business. You don't want. You're not gonna be of the guy who's beating up on someone else because you know he's gonna punch you next. Not to mention, odds are.
Because it's easier to comment on social media, hey, don't do that, instead of actually.
Because you're hiding. And I think that making an assumption, when somebody makes an assumption for your brain, I think there's something wrong there with me if I thought that. Because how in the world am I going to say I'm going to get hit? Why am I taking responsibility for something they may not even think?
Exactly.
But why am I afraid? Well, you're afraid, so you don't take action. So there's no cure to this problem, according to Hector.
Well, also have extinction, but that's a bit like burning down a house to get rid of a termite problem.
I think there is a cure. I just think the cure is on a larger scale, and it's more of an understanding. It's more of a group understanding of this is my responsibility. But also, I think, well, no, I don't want to go into the hitting thing. I'm staying on technology. No, because I was about to go on a tangent. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Don't play as a parent or as a friend.
I think you just set the boundaries, and not boundaries. I personally don't believe you should do 2 hours of playing until homework, and then I'm going to take it out of your hand, because that to me isn't a boundary. Because gaming is what, Hector, you went to school for video game design.
Yeah, look, and I'm here.
And
What
it's
we do.
okay, but it's a great field. But if you never got into video games, you never would have gone into that field. Gio got into coding and create. By the way, if you don't know, Gio is Freddie's son, and he created everything. He created AMP2 TV. Freddie just said he's been playing games since 7. He created this because of gaming, because he was on stream gaming all the time. If you had set boundaries and you had said only 2 hours and that's it, no more, did he listen to it?
But let me tell you how Gio fixed it. Gio said, Mom, I'm not going to play video games, but you want to see something?
Mm-hmm.
What he showed us at the age of 7 was so astounding.
And he wouldn't have been able to do it
Astounding.
if he
I said,
couldn't
"You did the
play.
homework." He says, I did that in school. He's above the curve.
He is, but there's other kids. There are other people. You get interested in things because you're allowed to do different technologies. Lots of kids get into coding because they like to play video games. Lots of us, when we were younger, we had like Wix they have now, which is a website builder. They had another when we were kids. I don't remember what it was called. But you got to build your own website, and you learned HTML code. If any of us had Tumblr and you wanted to customize it, you had to learn MySpace. You learned HTML code.
A program where you build Sims.
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 Oh my God, Sims 1 through 100.
But that was another one. You could code for it.
That's how Gio learned.
You could learn coding through Sims.
Man, I couldn't follow.
And that's things that are so important now that when you get into coding, you can have a huge job opportunity. But if you're telling your kid, no, cut off, video games are bad, what if that kid is really interested in it? And I know that's a 1 in a million chance. Oh, my kid just wants to play Fortnite all day. And like, yeah, that's not good. But what if you set boundaries and say, you can play Fortnite from whenever you finish your homework to the time you get to go to sleep. If they, teach them the importance of wanting to go outside, the importance of homework, instead of just yelling at them to do it. Teach them,
Do your
and
homework
again, this is
first.
my opinion, disagree with me. It's okay. Go. I know your guts to talk.
Do
I'm
your
sorry.
homework first. Reward them, and I'll.
Yeah.
That's a question.
Yes.
I just think it's the same as any addiction means excess.
Yeah.
I think everything in moderation is fine, but when it's excess, you're an alcoholic. You're a glutton.
Yeah.
Sex addict. There's lots of things that we enjoy that if you do it too much, that's the addiction. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing with technology. I think what's difficult is this does so many things now
Mm-hmm.
that we feel naked if we lose it or
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not near us.
Yeah.
And I think we're all
I
in
know.
some level addicted
I don't.
to this.
And
I think it's sad for me when I remember we were in a restaurant and seeing there was a couple in there and he was probably 12 or 13. They're sat there eating their dinner, all three of them glued to their phone, not having a word with each other. I felt that's really sad.
that is sad, and I think you're right.
Let's
it
go
is.
out.
It's an excess, but like you said, all three were doing it. The parents are doing it too, right? So parents have to set an example.
Spending cost.
I think the fact that they'd rather be on their phone rather than talking to each other.
Even if they're texting.
Proves them as a character.
Yeah, you're right.
Troy says that you get burned out of playing games.
There you go. Troy says you get burned out.
I
Burnout is a
lo-
thing. I can
yeah.
actually attest to that.
I don't think you get burned out playing all games, but I've definitely gotten burned out of playing a specific game. Like, I won't play certain games anymore because I've just played them so much that I'm like, I'm done.
I don't get anything from it anymore.
Now, Hector, you play board games.
what?
Is that the same thing as phone games? You play a lot of board games.
Well, it's actually kind of what I wanted to at least mention at some point. Board gaming, tabletop gaming, it's a different kind of beast altogether. But yeah, there are people who just spend too much spend too much time in those in those stores and spend too much money on those kind of things.
So
It's
even
just like
when
anything else.
so even when you're getting out and communicating with people,
It's not even the communicating with people. It's that the people. It's that you get a rush from this kind of hobby, and that's all you ever really want from it. But at the same time, I think that's a little bit easier to basically stop with that kind of hobby than others, mostly because you sort of need someone else to participate. And
well, a lot of online games you need people to participate too. But I see what you're saying. It's a lot easier on online gaming to find someone. Yeah.
you know,
This guy got.
Is that the problem because you're playing people from all over the world?
it's a problem because it's easier to find someone who wants to join you.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a problem. I think, it makes it a little harder. It makes it harder to find a reason to stop. Because, I've definitely stopped D&D campaigns because, Dungeons & Dragons. It's like a tabletop role-playing game. And I've definitely stopped campaigns because people in my group moved or people in my group, couldn't play at that time anymore. A game. It's like, it's games that go on.
It's a long fork. Okay, imagine if you're playing a game. Okay, imagine playing a game Monopoly. A Monopoly that takes over the span of a month rather than a day.
Yeah. But I want to talk about this more another time because I think this is really interesting, and I want to get some of our other producers who aren't able to be here today to come on another time, talk about it. Hopefully we'll start podcasting that we can talk about. But it is time to go to commercial and switch over to the Brooklyn Cafe. And if you guys have comments on it, please write on Facebook or come down 2400 Northwest 2nd Avenue.
I dare you to
Come. Glenn dares you, so you have to. Come down to the Theater Series studio and come talk to us about this because it's a conversation that I really like having and I like hearing people's opinions on. I think all of us do.
Yes.
But for now, we're going to go to commercial break and we'll see you guys after Dawn and Freddie.
Bye.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or carmencarelaser.com.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
Farrow Law Firm, standing up to corporate bullies, using innovative, aggressive, and effective strategies to resolve disputes effectively and timely. Contact us at 954-252-9818, online at farrowlawfirm.com, and on Facebook at Farrow Law Firm. We look forward to being of service to you.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
Sometimes you need to shake things up a bit, to be a little adventurous, to make your meals pop. Don Pablo Coffee Growers and Roasters has that special ingredient. That little bit of adventure in a bottle to take your dinner to the next level. So take a leap and try one of Don Pablo's fresh roasted specialty coffee meat rubs on your beef, chicken, or pork. You'll never go back to boring again. Go ahead, rub it on your meat.
Welcome in. We are
Where
home.
are we?
What's the matter? I screamed too loud? Did I blow your ears? Did I wake you up, Glenn? Welcome. 2400 Northwest 2nd Avenue. Just saw 2020. Kids did a nice job. Hector likes to argue with me, but that's okay.
Wow.
Welcome home. You ever seen
Welcome
that? You ever seen that commercial where we'll keep a light on for you? Red roofing.
Yes.
You ever seen that commercial?
Welcome home is all I can say.
Welcome.
Finally, you take a deep breath that we actually have a new home and we are setting up, but we are up and rolling and we've got multiple sets running in one room. I can't wait for everyone to come see it. We're doing our first official show from here. Our kids opened up with 2020 and what a spectacular place. And now that we were officially signed and officially moved in, I'm just amazed.
Speechless?
I'm kind of speechless because how this all came to be. And when people asked me, someone asked me yesterday, Chris and Jean, how did we find this space? And I looked at them, I said, God.
It sort of ran into you.
And he looked at me, he said, what do you mean? I said, pretty much God found this space for us because 6 months ago, was it 6 months ago? I was at your SIP Pound and Pour.
Pound and
when
Pour.
was that?
It was in May.
Okay, so in May I was at Pound and Pour. Next door at Organic Movements with Michelle Olsen-Rogers and Fem City. And as you went around the kitchen and you asked everyone to pay it forward, I looked at Jen G and I looked up and I said, wow, this would make the most amazing studio. And she's like, I know, I'm thinking the same thing. And then Connie gave us a tour and that was the end of that.
That night.
And then things happened and we ended up leaving the gallery and we looked at some warehouses and Michelle's dad called me and he said, I would be remiss if I didn't call my daughter's friend because then she would yell at me. He says, so I am calling you and have a space to show you. And we came and looked at it and we kept looking around. And we came back and looked at it and we kept looking around. And then we brought the crew and we kept looking around. And he has been unbelievably spectacular. And he let us move everything in before it was even ready. You've seen the videos. They were putting in the ceiling and they were putting in the door jambs. And Norm has been incredible, and everyone that rents space here has been amazing. Courtney's letting us use some of her Ethernet right now because Comcast is in the building. We're not officially lit yet. So all I can do is say thank you, because, you know, when you put it out in the universe in the craziest of ways, it comes back. And here we are.
Hey, man, no, just walk around and you can put it right on this table.
And here we are. So welcome home.
You know, the funny thing is that we're only using 1/3 of the facility. There is more to be done, more things to be done. We wanted to get on the air because we didn't want to be forgotten. You can put it right there. Don't worry about
And
it.
come around and sit over here. We won't always be this, or pull up a chair over there.
Yeah, you can. And again, we're all working under one
How
room.
beautiful.
And we're getting all stuff together. So pardon, I know people are writing in. I know that we're losing some frames on Facebook as well. We don't even have
Comcast.
Right?
We don't even have Ethernet. We are borrowing Ethernet from the
Organic
facility.
Movements. We're
from
borrowing her
Movements.
Ethernet. And again, talk about a great neighbor. We have a shared door.
Spectacular. Yeah, we're going through a shared door, about 300 feet. Spectacular facility next door. And again, it's great to have friends. And people have come in here and they've put paintings and curtains and all sorts of stuff. And we're going to get it all together. We're inviting everybody to come down and share. Wayne is kind enough to come down, and we're sharing some ideas as well. Dr. Lee, we may have a new clinic for you to work out of.
She loves the space. She wants to rent it out for seminars.
Well, that's right, and that's going to be part of the deal. We still haven't come up with the official name yet, but we're working on that as well. So you can come down and do a show, do a seminar. You never know, even Fred X might be on the horizon. Watch out now.
Just amazing. All I can say is be careful what you put out in the universe because you might actually just get it. How that even happened, Patty? You talk about never knowing how things are going to fall into place. This was one of those unbelievable, spectacular things through Fem City and Pound and Pour. So like we always say with Fem City, it may not be you made a connection that night when you gave out your card, but somewhere down the line, the connections, the networking that you make through Fem City and the cafe, they come back in multiples, right?
They do.
Hey, and how are you?
And
Now-
doing the obstacle course because we've got wires and lights
They're
and
everywhere.
doors. Right?
It's everywhere. You come down here, you have to walk around a maze. Now, we're going to be doing some different things here at this studio because now we have the room and the space to do it. We are going to have actually a television set on set for all our sponsors to be named because
I'm not really sure how that works because
gonna
if it's
show you.
under the table, how am I going to see it?
That table won't be there.
Oh, okay.
So when you move the cameras back, if you look at ESPN and all the players, they always have a TV on the set sponsored by. It's a teleprompter is something else. That will go on your end, but this is a different concept. I'm going to show you how that works.
Because I
at
was
the
wondering, because
apron.
I'm like, right now it's under the table and I couldn't
It goes.
see it.
It goes under. It's not for you to see. It's
Okay,
for
good.
the world to see.
Oh, I got you now. Okay, now I
So the
understand.
cameras go on there. I mean, Dignity's video could be playing there when he's
Yes.
speaking in the whole nine. We are also going to run piping into the theater. So let's say that next door she wants to come and interview, and she wants to have the girls, who, by the way, we just invited to City of Boca, right, for the Christmas thing.
Organic Movements, yes, they're doing their whole performance.
They won first place last year
You
for
should
their
see them.
float.
Amazing.
They're working hard next door. We get to hear the music. So we have instant music
I
as
got
well.
to tell you, there is no excuse for me not working out now because I can literally go through the door at 6 o'clock and take a class. There are no excuses for me.
Well, the funny thing is, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to, I guess, in a second. The funny thing is that, you know, when you move into a new place, you got to buy stuff, right? So Dawn is 4'0", and she bought a broom.
Well, never send someone who's got ADD to Walmart.
She brought a broom.
Let's start with that because I walked in at
Wait a minute, I haven't
2:30.
even told the story yet before you
I
defend
walked
yourself.
in at 2:30,
Yeah.
and it has everything.
You were there till 5:30.
And then what happened?
She bought a 3-foot broom.
That was at 5 o'clock. I was still there.
So we took out the broom. Me and Miguel were here. We took out the broom, and Manuel. Well, he was Miguel because he doesn't want his name known. And we take out this broom, and we can't use it.
Yes.
And you got to bend over to use this thing. It's about this big.
Yeah.
So I give it to her, and she says, "What's wrong with it?" Because she's close to the floor, so it was no problem.
2.5 hours later at Walmart. I am not a Walmart shopper.
You are a short shopper.
So everything that does not
The
work
curtain's
is
too
going to
short.
be
The
donated.
broom too short.
It's going to be donated to those that need.
No, it's not going to
Probably
be
a
donated. I'm
children's
taking
home.
it back because I need curtains.
I'm not waiting online at Walmart. I'm
I'll
done.
go. I'll go. I'll take it.
Now, I am the reason Instacart was created, is all I can tell you. It is people
Instacart.
like me that you can shop online and go pick it up in the car, and now I understand why.
Is that the way it works?
That's pretty much the way it works.
All right. Anyway, come on down. Let me make. Now I can really make you a cup of coffee because when you walk in here, you're gonna see bigger than life our coffee cart.
Come
and
on
everything
down.
else.
And Wednesday, I don't even know if all of our crew knows, we're doing a potluck Thanksgiving celebration because we have a lot to be thankful for. So
Thank you for telling. Did you guys know this?
You are now in the know, Freddie.
Nobody knew.
Actually, Hector and Manuel organized
Oh, is
this
that what it is?
yesterday.
And
so
I take
Wednesday-
him everywhere with me, and he didn't tell me.
So Wednesday, we're doing a potluck Thanksgiving, and it is open to anyone that would like to join us. Everyone's going to bring a little bit of something. We've got mini mitzvahs joining us.
That means I
and we'll
gotta
be
go.
here because it's Wednesday.
I gotta go
and
to
you are going
Presidente.
to, exactly.
I gotta go to Presidente and bring something. 'cause
Exactly. You'll be bringing the main course, and everyone else will bring the sides.
I'm bringing the main course.
Just put it on my bill.
What am I bringing?
Because
no,
at
what
this
am I?
point, it doesn't even
What
matter.
am I getting? Pork or chicken or what? Turkey?
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We shall
You
talk
like
about
pork?
it.
You guys eat pork? You don't eat pork, right? You eat chicken? You're gonna eat it if I bring it, cause.
So we got a lot coming up. We're in studio today and tomorrow. On Friday, we have rescheduled a show at Paramount Dance Studio.
That's for Friday.
We're going to be there on Friday.
Friday,
And then
yeah.
next week, we are back in studio. And come on down Thanksgiving. We are at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard. And yes, we are right next to Organic Movements, right on 2nd Avenue. So you can't miss it. It says Little Pond Family Theater. It has not been rented in a very long time. So
It's
here
only
we are.
10 years? Is
I
that
think
true?
20.
20 years?
I think 20 years the space has been empty.
Now, you guys know Boca, right? You guys are from
It
Boca?
was waiting for us.
Do you guys know the history of Boca? This theater moved down to
Royal Palm.
Royal Palm. How long has it been down there?
I don't even know if it's since my son. I remember having a birthday party and he was 4, and now he's
Here
25.
or over there?
Over there. So that's
Okay.
how long this has been empty. It's 20 years.
And did they really have a theater here? Does anybody remember coming to this spot? No?
I was
Anybody?
actually
Ann?
told they
No?
had rehearsals here, and the theater was
That's
at
what I was
Royal
told.
Palm.
Oh, really?
That this was the dance rehearsal
So
space.
this wasn't here.
I think this was all built out. Those were all divided into a theater with red drapes and red curtains.
That's
and
what I want.
That's what you want.
That's the ghost of past. I love that. I love the theater. I love the theater. I always wanted to do a set when we were at the other place. I wanted to do a set. They didn't let us. That reminded you of a theater. And there are some theaters I know in Boca. They've been in touch already. They've been calling me. We are a different type of theater. We are a production theater, which is different than an entertainment theater. But it doesn't mean you can't mix and match both. And I look at Dignity's video, and I was watching what he gave us to play, and we have it on there to play. And it's all about celebrating life. That's what it comes down to. It's about when you're alive, take advantage of the fact to be alive. And Dr. Lee's here, and she makes you feel better. Meeting organizations, and then you got the one behind me here, push. We're going to be pushing to live life.
How do you like the energy of the week? It always pertains to where you are at.
That's right. But what I love about this place is that we're going to build it from the ground up. And everybody gets a chance. It's like that restaurant in California, the Chinese food place, the famous place, where they put your footprint and your handprints in the cement. Yeah. Is that what it's called? Did you know that?
The Chinese theater? Build it and they will come.
Well, that's the movie. But that's good too. But I like it that everybody gets a chance to put a fingerprint in here. I mean, we got art around us to make it softer and warmer and everything else. And you get a chance to contribute what it is you want to do. And it's about living life, It's about exactly what your commercial plays. I was blown away the first time I saw it. And that's what I want to use this for in the back.
All right, let's go to a quick commercial break. We're going to add a 5th mic for Dr. Lee. And then we come back, we're going to talk acupuncture, how to fight autoimmune disease, celebrating life, see what's going on with Fem City, and then we're rolling right into our 1 o'clock
Rolling right.
hour. All right,
Okay.
so stay tuned. Are we
right
good to go, gang?
You got it?
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
For social media platforms and television, AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
Do you want to enhance your love life with flowers? Rejuvenate love, life, health with flowers from Blossom Moments? Weekly deliveries to your home, your business, hospital, or even senior centers. Give us a call at 561-951-6343. Blossom Moments could also coordinate your wedding or event. Contact Blossom Moments at bmgevents.net. For all of your floral event needs, large or small, call Blossom Moments. 561-951-6343. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Dawn and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in for a cup of coffee or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. Don't forget, sharing is caring, and to like this video. Let's reopen the cafe doors now. Back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome a new sponsor.
Yes, you made me wash a toilet, and then you wash it 10 times afterwards. You're like my sister.
It's been there for 20 years.
My sister says, clean the bathroom. I cleaned it. She comes back and cleans it again and again and again. I said, what is wrong with you?
Well, we got one bathroom and Freddie to give everyone explicit instructions on how to share a restroom with a lady, which was very nice. You did give them all. Anyway, we are live at our new space. We are 2400 Northwest 2nd Avenue, which is also Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, so you can find us. We're just north of 20th Street. Amazing. So come on out. We are here today, tomorrow, and next week. We are celebrating Thanksgiving and celebrating life. And we're going to get into the show finally. We're going to talk to Dr. Lee, acupuncture. I love that she walked in today with a big smile on her face. She said, I love this space. So you know what? It's got good energy.
Can you hear me?
It's got a lot of good energy.
We're good to go.
We're talking about acupuncture, as long as your green light's on, and we're talking about fighting autoimmune disease.
Yes, autoimmune disease is because your immune function is out of balance. So in Chinese medicine, we talk about yin and yang, and it always has to be balanced. But now in modern medicine, they also realize that the balance plays an important role to keep the immune function in right state. So if the immune system is hyperactive, then it produces antibody to attack your own tissues, and that is autoimmune. And it also produces antibody to induce like allergies, rhinitis, or sinusitis. So immune function has to be in the right state, not too hyper, not too low. If it's too hyper, you got allergies, you got an autoimmune disease. And if it's too low, then your body will have cancer, develop a cancer, infection, including bacterial, virus. So how can we balance this immune function? There are so many factors involved, but in modern society, there are nervous system involved, because when your nerves are hyperactive, for instance, you use too much stimulants, coffee or electronics, or too much stress, then your sympathetic nerves become so active, then your immune function started acting up. So if the immune function has two kind of cells, one called the T lymphocytes, the other is called the B cells. So the T cells also has two balance side. One is called the T helper cells, and the other one called the T regulatory cells. And there's two kind of cells. Oh, there's another kind called T killer cells. So this killer cells, when it's in action, it kills the cancer cells, and it kills the foreign bacteria. But if it's too active, not regulated by another kind of T cells, which called regulatory cells, then you get into autoimmune disease, which include Crohn's, MS, ALS, even eczema, psoriasis.
Thyroid disease.
Yes, yes.
Right? I mean, thyroid disease in women.
Yeah,
But
Hashimoto's.
I have Hashimoto's. Right?
Yes.
So I've had it, I don't know, about 13, 14 years now. It wreaks havoc on your body.
Yes.
So I was only about 40, in my late 30s, early 40s when I got this. And I think it was a reaction to a vaccine I got. Before I had my kids, I had to get all these boosters. And I had a bad reaction. And I think it lay dormant, and then it causes autoimmune disease. But
Yeah.
there are ways to help prevent that?
Yeah,
Through
so
acupuncture preventatively?
acupuncture can be used to restore this balance of the immune cells, including T cells and B cells. So when you first have reactions, like you have rashes or your thyroid, your TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone goes up, meaning you are damaging the thyroid function. What you can do, you try to balance the sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system and try to balance the hormones. And how we do that, there are basic things. First, you need deep, solid 6 to 8 hours sleep, not necessarily 8. Once you sleep deeper, your immune function restore the balance. If you only sleep 4 or 5 hours, less than 5, then your immune system out of balance. And that's number one. Number two, you have to improve your digestion. So if you eat the things healthy but you don't digest well, then your body will trigger the histamine release. So anything not well digested will trigger histamine release, and then that causes the inflammation, and also it also tip over the immune system. So that's the digestion, and also the hormones. Like women my age, between 40s to 60ish, our relaxing hormone are declining.
That's a big range.
Yes.
40 to 60-ish? That's
Yeah.
like half your life.
But the most dangerous time is between 40 to 50ish. So if we are not balanced because of the hormones, and then we don't try to restore the balance, then we can easily develop breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and the earlier we can develop those problems, and the prognosis will not be good. So if a woman develops autoimmune or cancer before 40s, then chances they have that forever, for a long time, or cannot survive 20 years for the breast cancer is much, much lower than if you get it around 60 or 70.
So you think balancing hormones preventively through acupuncture may help prevent some cancers?
Yes, that's right. So like for me, I'm 55 years old, and I knew my relaxing hormone is very low, so I get very sensitive. So if I eat too much nuts, if I eat 5 almonds for 3 days, then it induced the histamine. I would say some rashes, and I started sneezing, and then I have phlegm, and then if I continue, and then I lose my voice, I will have big hives. So that happens 10 years ago. And now I have to watch how much I can process. If it's too much, then your immune function will be hyperactive. You either get allergies or autoimmune or chronic inflammation. Eventually, it causes like cancer or eczema, psoriasis.
The crazy thing is, you've been telling both of us reduce the coffee, reduce the chocolate. And the more stress we had over the past month, the more coffee and the more chocolate I ate, because that's what kept me going. Coffee, chocolate, and pretty much bananas, until my body just shut down last week and I was like just done. You know what happened? My body wouldn't tolerate coffee or chocolate or nuts or anything. It was like back to basics and vegetables and eggs. And I have to tell you, the puffiness under my eyes got better.
It's much better,
And
right?
I thought of Dr. Lee. I'm like, man, she was right all along. It's the caffeine from the coffee and the chocolate. And if you read on anything, because I had a lot of time to read last week, this is what causes the inflammation. If I had actually listened to you and I had stopped it ahead of time, but I think we just keep going and going on our natural cycles until, again, God says, you're done. This is your new space. You need to rest. Whatever it is, we have to listen and see the signals.
But the other good thing is, periodically, if you sick, it's good because you give the body rest time and your immune function actually kind of practice. So your body know how to cope with those things. But if people never get sick for over 10, 20 years, once they get sick, they can die of pneumonia, small things, because their immune system just cannot cope with the things they never has to cope with.
How do people find you? Because I'm
So-
going this afternoon.
So just go to bocaacupuncture.org and you'll find how you can balance your immune system to prevent autoimmune and allergies and just live a healthy life.
And she's right near our studio. She says 5 minutes away, so it's very, very close. Dr. Lee is in here, in town, what, about 90% of the time now?
Yes.
So check it out. And she actually, Wayne also has a veterans foundation she works with. So maybe you guys can
Yeah,
connect when we
nonprofit.
go to commercial break. What's your phone number?
It's 617-817-1910.
All right, stay tuned. We're going to do a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hit our 1 o'clock hour. We've got Femme City in the house, Dignity Memorial, and Ann talking about how we live life to its fullest. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Natural ingredients and providing a safe alternative method for relief from many symptoms, creating a healthier lifestyle without the use of opioids. Use hemp bokeh products for improved mental health and overall well-being. It's safe, legal, and non-psychoactive. Our pure and high-quality CBD is from clean industrial hemp, then extracted slowly over days to produce the strongest and most effective products on the market. Made in the U.S. with no synthetic ingredients. Committed to bringing our customers the highest grade CBD oil on the market. Our industrial hemp, it's organic with no solvents and pesticides, gluten-free, vegan, full spectrum, and third-party double lab tested. Our top priority is your health and wellness, and we are confident you will love our products and the amazing relief so you can enjoy the things you love to do. Try our products and start living a healthier lifestyle. Hemp bokeh. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power. A platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions. A voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The
the way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here. The way you live your life.
And that's all you have to say. And a few words. Let's give out our new Hope Hearts.
Did you guys get Hope Hearts?
I got one before.
You got one?
You've never had a Hope Heart, Ann? Oh, all right. These are our Hope Hearts for our new studio. We have our whole new set of Hope Hearts. We say the heart chooses you.
The heart chooses you.
The heart chooses you, so you always pick the right one.
Thank you.
See what you got.
Joy is the key.
Joy is the key. There you have it. And see, talk about the energy of the week, right? That's exactly what it is. So we're here with Ann. We're talking about living life to its fullest. Dignity. We've got Wayne and Celebration of Life, and Patty with Fem City is joining us. You're cleaning your ear with my selenium. Everything has been cleared and cleaned in the full moon, and it is back on the set where it should be, including my wands.
He gets a big kick out of my craziness.
Yeah, I get a big kick out of your
This was
craziness.
given to me a bunch of other stones. This was given. There's a bunch of stuff.
And I took them.
And she took them because she needs more protection than I do.
Pretty much. Patty, what is happening with Fem City?
Oh my goodness, we are getting ready for our last event of 2019, which is going to be a member-only holiday social. I can't believe we're wrapping up the year
either.
already. But we're very excited. Holiday social being hosted by Modern Boca Mom, Michelle Olsen-Rogers, who was your connection
gosh.
here for the new studio. So we're excited to be with her for that. And some other members are helping put on the event. Shayna Wissoff, who we have to connect you with Party Host Helpers. They will be kind of helping to facilitate the event, and we're excited for that. But
Party Host Helper.
Party Host Helpers, yes. They do all the work for you for your event so that you can enjoy it. They will set things up, they serve the food, they'll run the bar, they do the dishes, all the cleanup. Absolutely amazing.
I'm in. I bet she'd be a Walmart shopper for me, too.
Yeah, because you need one. So it was Fem City's connection that got us into this place? I keep
Yes,
telling
it
you.
was.
I keep telling everybody, and I'm not even a woman, but I keep telling people, you got to join Fem City because they have so many connections. I mean, they helped us out. This was not easy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you something. Anybody that tells you that moving 4 years of business in 2 weeks is not easy.
What do they say? It's one of the 7 most stressful things is moving.
Numero uno is moving.
Death?
No, death is easy. Once you do that,
No,
you're
no,
done.
no, no, no.
You die,
Death of
you're
a loved
done.
one is number one. Sorry.
But when you die, everybody else has a hard time.
Divorce.
That's easy. I've done that a few times. I'm a pro at it.
No, I think that's stressful, too. Moving. I know, that's got to be stressful. You just did it a long time ago.
It was stressful. I'm only making fun of it, but it was. But I got to tell you, moving, it wasn't even the move. That was the easy part. Getting boxes and all the hands and all the kids helping us. That was the easy part. You got to do is feed them. I love it.
But I have to tell you, the way things do fall into place, because when I would lay in bed at night, Dr. Lee, I don't even want to tell her I haven't slept lately. Today I was up at 4:45, and it's like, oh my gosh. But you think about all these layers of things you need, and I'm standing here yesterday, and a guy with a fire company comes in, fire extinguishers, and our good friend Dawn DeMarco says, my brother does that. I said, your brother does that? So he came out this morning. She says, alarm, so-and-so does that. You need that too. And it's just when you realize you need it, but you don't even say it, and the universe brings these things to you, it's just, and I keep looking at you.
Because I want to say something
Say
so
something.
bad.
I don't know why I keep looking at you, but say something.
Okay, because that's exactly what's going on this week, is that we have an energy that's all about living life like you're alive. So living life with passion and purpose. And I know that when I look at the two of you, you are so passionate about this move, and you are so purposeful about what's going on here and creating a community and creating a place and a zone for people to connect and community. Now, when you live in that place, no matter how hard it is, what you're talking about is exactly what happens, is that you get universal support for everything you need. So I had a situation. So we say when you love and care and share, when you're busy taking care of others, the universe takes care of you. So that's what you're doing. You're not just sitting here and building a temple so that you can make money off of it. You're building a place, a community, so that people can commune and create and gather together to be better than they are alone. When you do that, when you come from that place authentically, okay, so what happens is my son was sick, and this doctor said, you need to get some sort of neti pot for the nose, something, spray. I said, you know what, this is not medicine. This is just, what are you talking about? She goes, well, they're carrying it at the CVS. I said, okay. So I'm thinking to myself, one more thing I have to do, right? Like the list keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What ends up happening is I go to my chiropractor that day, and there was the product sitting on the shelf. I didn't have to go anywhere. So that's the thing, is like, I know that might sound like a simple example, and we have much bigger issues in life, but it works that way too. So thank you for loving and caring and sharing with your community. Thank you for putting in the effort to build this space. And if you build it, we'll all come.
I always go back to how this all started. I mean, the Fem City connection was, and if you know me, you'll understand that it leaves me speechless on how this all fell into place magically. And yes, God did give us the space, and I always say, to whom much is given, much is required. So now it's about building the community. It makes me think of when I met your mom at your house for Sukkot, and she said to me, we were in the middle of all this tumult, she said, it's not the building. She said, it's building community. Your mom, I want her to join us on a show, because I would love for Freddie to meet your mom, because
Pistol Freddie. She scares me. Love her.
But there's nothing wrong with fear. Fear is your friend if you know how to use it. Yes, absolutely.
She's recovering from a knee replacement.
She's remarkable, but that's exactly what she said to me. And now we have the space to build a community.
Now we have the space to build and lead and go in the direction that we've always said, let's help businesses. And, you know, now you put your money where your mouth is. I mean, I love Boca. You know, I don't know anything about Boca. I've lived 10 years in Boca. I know nothing about Boca. I know Del Rey, because of the studio there, and I know the radio station, which is right down the street, and they're very excited about some of the things we're going to be doing with them from here as well. But I love the fact that if you're not afraid to take a chance and try something out of the box and do it, if it works, great. If it doesn't, you make an adjustment and you go again. I mean, life is about adjustments, isn't it?
Yes, actually, Freddie. The thing is, however, also like you guys are doing, is doing the hard work. Most of us, we live in a
Dawn does that.
reality. Dawn does that.
We
Like
both
shopping
do.
at Walmart, right?
And I said to you yesterday, if we both play towards our strengths, we make a great team. You can do the Walmart shopping, but I'm very happy to unpack. But then you went on production with the kids yesterday, and you put a remote together while I unpacked. That's how a team works together.
But you're following the universal truths, which is getting out of your comfort zone. This isn't comfortable.
Oh, no.
When you just want to sit there and just reap the rewards and you don't put in the effort, then you're not going to get, you know the expression we say to our kids, you get what you get and don't get upset. And that's what's going to happen. But if you're putting in the effort, and the energy of this week talks about it, that whenever you buy your stuff, whenever you work for your stuff, if somebody wants to give you something for free, run for the hills. Because energetically what's happening is you're not owning it. You're not earning it. You guys are earning it with the work that you're putting in, with the sleepless nights, I'm sorry, with the not eating correctly. I heard about the chocolate and the coffee, but you're earning it. So maybe you need to earn it in balance. Would that be a better option, Dawn?
That's what I said. God said last week, you've got the flu. You now have to balance your life. You're going to rest. You're going to start eating better, and you're going to sleep until you're ready to get up. And that was what happened last week. I had to put my body back in balance. I truly believe this was not a gift because I was so freaking sick. But
Everybody has their strokes. Everybody's going to do their thing. My biggest concern, because I don't sleep well at night anyway.
we're sharing a mic right now.
And we're sharing a mic. Now, it's funny because I spoke to a couple of hosts who we do at the radio station, and they are not having success, and they're in fear, and they're in panic. And I look at the 12 years of me doing this, and I've been in tighter places. I've been, AJP, I've been in smaller places. I've been with no crew, no camera, no nothing. Things didn't work until the last second. This is nothing. The hardest part about doing this is keep going, finding that niche. If you wait long enough, it's something that I learned when I coach. If you wait long enough, opportunities in life appear.
Perfect, because the universal wisdom talks about how a righteous person falls 7 times and picks themselves back up.
True that. True
That's
that.
Proverbs. Wow. When you think about that, the minute we hit a bump in the road, what do we usually do? What do you do, Freddie?
We quit.
What do I do?
Well, we keep going.
No, you're good, Freddie.
I just keep going.
You just keep going.
I got to decipher what's a bump and what's common life. I mean, look at these curtains. We got the wrong size because Dawn is 5 foot nothing, and she brought 5 foot nothing curtains.
Well, no, wait. I was talking to you in Walmart. I was on a
gave you the wrong
meltdown
size.
after 2
I
hours.
gave you the wrong size. I did.
But do you think
So-
it has to do with age? I'm sorry, Freddie.
What?
Like we get a little more mature. Is that a good way of putting it? And we know from experience that we got to work at things. We got to put in the effort. We can't, when there's the first little bump, we can't just like curl into a little ball and go, woe's me. We can't do that.
You can't. We had 2 choices when we were moving. We either shut down or we move. And shutting down was not an option. So we had to move. Finding the space and doing it all, how it fell in spectacularly is amazing. But those were the 2 choices. You either do or you don't. And we had to do. And with that, we did.
And the bottom line is, I think it does with age and how you handle it. So we talk to these kids and we tell them, and we had a meeting today about something that we had to do, observation. Glenn is very observant. Teddy is very observant. Connor is in another frequency. It all depends. on, no,
I don't know what frequency are you
Frequency or
on.
planet.
but that's a good thing. Every one of these kids has a different gift.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to keep your eyes both open so you can see the different gifts. And each one brings a different
Oh my God!
solution to
Today,
a problem.
today you're just feeding me so good. You're
Wait,
just
I mean, look
feeding
at
me.
this lady.
Pull up a chair.
Come on over.
Let's walk around the other way. There you go.
I mean, she has something that I've been using, which is remarkable. Now, does anybody know about it? Nobody that I know in my field knows about it. And it's just another gift. Another person shows up. You know, this gentleman showed up. I'm going to be very honest with you. The biggest thing on my mind was always about death. Has been since I buried my dad 4 months ago. It's changed my perception of life until I met you. And all of a sudden, I'm not going down screaming and ranting and being depressed. I'm not doing that because you know what? When you go in the dirt, you're going to be resting a long time. So why not live it up, make it loud, and have some fun with this thing? And if I meet somebody that needs me to put an arm around them, I got 2, and I'm going to use them both. But ain't nobody going to keep me down. You can kick me out. You can throw me out. You can spit on me. I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going no matter what anybody says because I live in this world. This is right here. Everybody else can either live with it or you go on your merry little journey. No problem.
So you're doing something really cool when I hear you say that you're looking at this staff, the crew, and you're seeing the godlike spark in each one of them, the uniqueness, the incredible
I see
potential.
tomorrow.
The potential, right?
Yeah.
And too often we live in life where people are jealous of one another. I want what they have. I want what she has. I want this. I want the bigger. I want the that. I want the fame. I want whatever it is. But here's the thing, is that when we can appreciate that unique potential inside of everybody, and furthermore, understand that together we create a whole, a picture, like, you know, a camera has all those pixels that when you finally put it together, you get a picture. That's what it's all about. And that's what you're creating here, a picture.
That's what we're
With
looking
all
for.
the different little pieces coming together, and the incredible uniqueness of each person is being honored.
Exactly what it is. And as with anything with networking, is how we're working with Dignity, and we did an event with you on Friday. And you had not a huge turnout like you anticipated, but it was a great
Yeah,
turnout.
I've been busy this week
Right.
meeting families and helping them all day yesterday. And it was really good. So
Celebrating life. We always say, Freddie always says it actually, it doesn't matter if 100,000 people watch you. It's that one right person or the two right
Yeah.
people. So when people ask, what's your reach and who's watching it, you had, what, 6 people come, 7 people come? But 7 turned into a mother, a father, a grandmother.
yeah, one lady that came, I met her and her husband and her mother yesterday, and I got all their plans in place, and they were thanking me left, right, and center, saying, we really wanted to get this done, and thanks,
Which is incredible.
It is.
Right.
And she works for the VA, and she's got other connections, and it's she's like, I'm gonna get you in and meet other people. So
My family in New York was talking about, you become sensitive when your parents die. And I don't know if anybody here's parents are dead, but you become sensitive about the situation. That's what's happening in my neck of the woods. And they watched the show that we did on Dignity, and everybody's asking me for your number up north. And if I can take that message up there, and it isn't about selling you something, it's about doing something creatively right and taking away a lot of stress and pain that goes with it.
Yeah.
Okay? And sometimes we got to become a realist. My old man would have been on Thursday, on the 14th, would have been 89.
It's you, right? Yeah.
You're 14.
Susan has the same birthday.
And so is your dad, and so is your son, and I'm surrounded by the 14th.
Freddie's dad.
I got about this big on the 14th because it was my dad's birthday. And then I look around, and again, you come into my head because it's about living life. It's about, it's his birthday, carry on that torch. And all sorts of things are happening right now in Puerto Rico. You got to come with it.
We have so many, unfortunately, the default setting is instead of living life, we become victims in life. And that's the part where it's so hard to be. We need to be that light. Everywhere we go, we need to be that person that is the light, showing the way, being positive, being on gratitude. So instead of being zombies, walking around, like the Walking Dead, numbing out, we have such a huge issue with prescription drugs, all these antidepressants, etc. I think more than any other country in the world. Don't quote me on those statistics, but it's huge because where are we getting the support? Where are we talking to people? Where are those hugs? It's okay. I feel you. I see you.
You're right.
Do you know shaking hands is a tradition that has been gone back since the turn of man? In baseball, and I asked Glenn if he played baseball, you ever notice that when a guy does an out or he comes back to the dugout, the older vets always tap you in the back of the knee? This is tradition. Since I was a child, they taught me that because it's about touching hand to hand. It's about putting your hand on somebody. It's about when somebody's not feeling well, put your hand on their knee, not to get crazy because of the way life is right now. Put it on the knee or tap them in the back of the leg. And that touch is the change, and that's exactly what you're describing. And that has been around since the turn of time. It is like the blessing when you eat a meal. Do you do that?
Will, and I know does.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that blessing changes the frequency of food. I read this. It's in the Bible even. We just have to interpret it.
There's a lot of things I think we need to go back to basics. Patty, but so many things with the women that you work with.
Yes.
It's going back to networking and supporting each other. And that's what Fem City, I can't tell you over and over again. And it's not financially, we have a relationship with the Fem City, and it's not that either of us are making thousands of dollars.
No.
But the networking and the
connecting.
relationships and all of these relationships brought us here.
Yes, and it's, again, like Ann said, it's about the gratitude, and that really is what Fem City was founded on, is connecting women, supporting each other in business and our community in a spirit of positivity and gratitude. And it's not, hi, my name's Patty, here's my business card, what do you do? It's, hi, my name's Patty, what's your name, what brought you here, how can I help you? And the women in our organization really, really live that.
They've been amazing. Everyone that I've texted or called through Fem City, I may not even know them well. I only met Courtney once. She says, anything I can do for you, neighbor. I'm sorry I didn't help you sooner. Michelle, anything I can do. They're just spectacular ladies. How can
Yes,
people join?
and so people can join at femcity.com, but you have a special link that can give them a discount for annual membership. We do also have a monthly option, but the annual membership is the best way to go.
And you can also find us on our Facebook group, Fem City at Boca del Rey.
It's really amazing. The next event I know is your holiday members.
The holiday social is member only, so if people do join before December 5th, you can come. You can register for that event. And then our next Connection Luncheon is going to be January 24th, so it'll be the fourth Friday in January. We do not have registration open because I am still finalizing our location.
And if I were you, I would get tickets because when she comes back, she always says, we're sold out. I got one ticket left. You ever notice? I got one ticket left. We're sold out.
Yes.
All right, check it out, Fem City Boca del Rey. You can always contact us at the cafe. You can find it on Facebook. You can also find Patty Goldenberg on Facebook.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about celebrating life. We're going to have Susan come join us, another November 14th birthday. I couldn't even believe that. Stay tuned. We are live at our new studio. Save the date next Thursday. We're doing a Thanksgiving gratitude lunch. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
Sometimes you need to shake things up a bit. To be a little adventurous, to make your meals pop. Don Pablo coffee growers and roasters has that special ingredient. That little bit of adventure in a bottle to take your dinner to the next level. So take a leap and try one of Don Pablo's fresh roasted specialty coffee meat rubs on your beef, chicken, or pork. You'll never go back to boring again. Go ahead, rub it on your meat.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
Cruise.
And we're back. I gotta tell you, Dr. Lee paid us a compliment. Yeah? Yes. She went out that way, made a left or right, and came back, and she was headed that way to get out. She says, how do you get out of this place? Front door. She says, where is it? I says, that other room. She was in the other
Isn't it so nice to see everyone walk in and smile? And this is clearly not decorated. It is not where it needs to be, but everyone just walks in, and you know what? They're just so happy to be here.
It's all good stuff. All good. All good. Come on down. 2400 Second Ave. Is that the way you pronounce it?
Northwest.
I can't get that Northwest thing.
Well, you got to get it because someone can end up somewhere else.
I put North South, Southeast, East West.
Raton Boulevard.
Yeah, it confuses him.
That's a lift.
Okay.
That's a
what
real
it is.
address. Boca Raton Boulevard. Did you know
also
that?
known as Northwest.
You ever notice the guys are the worst at directions? They go, which way is the beach? I'm headed west.
I just put it into GPS and follow whatever she
No,
says.
because sometimes it doesn't work. Does this address work on
It
the
works
GPS?
always.
Yeah,
I did
it
it
worked
together.
fine.
It
Boca
works.
It just
Raton
didn't say
Boulevard.
which door to knock on, so I walked all the way around the building.
Yes, it's the one that says Little Palm Family Theater is where we are still.
I'm going to put that little piece.
Outside the door?
Yes, it says knock here.
We can put something on the door until we get our new signage up. We've got Ann with us talking Energy of the Week. We've got Wayne with Dignity, celebrating life. We're going to be doing a remote next month.
Yeah,
Actually,
very
it's in 2
excited.
weeks already.
Yeah.
Lake Worth.
Yeah, at our location in Lake Worth, it's one of our larger funeral homes, and also it's a Lake Worth Memory Gardens. So we want to kind of showcase that location and show the different, all the different rooms and things for celebration of life ceremonies,
be
more
there.
traditional chapel.
I will.
They even
It's a
have
Wednesday.
glass-fronted cremation niche room that's new, as well as several of the things in the cemetery. So I'm
What
hoping we
is
can
that
kind of
niche?
showcase.
What's a niche room?
So a niche is where you put your cremated remains, so your urn.
Oh, okay.
So traditionally it would be like in a marble niche outside, but they've got a new room inside the funeral home. They're glass fronted, and then family members can put urns in there as well as memorabilia like photographs, knickknacks, and things about their loved ones. It's a nice, calm space so they can kind of go and be with their loved ones and visit, and it's a beautiful space. So I want to kind of highlight all those different options there, and showcase what we're about.
We actually interviewed a new producer the other day, and he works with you, I think, in the Lake Worth. Not with you, he works at the Lake Worth area.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And we said, do you know Wayne? He says, yeah. That was
Right.
so hilarious. He's your boss. Oh, okay.
So I think he's going to be working with us for an internship in film school, but his day job is working with you guys.
Cool.
You never know, right? It's that reach is so far reaching.
And you also have that thing up in the water. Where is it? In the Keys?
Neptune Memorial Reef,
And
yeah.
that's in the Keys, right?
That's just in Biscayne Bay.
In Biscayne Bay. That is and that's where you want to be laid, you told me.
Yep, I'm gonna mix with the ashes of my dog Daisy, who passed a couple years ago. So they'll do that. They can mix your remains with a pet for free.
I don't know about that.
Be put
Wayne, we
into a
gotta
shape
talk,
and
Wayne.
made part of
Take
the
it-
reef.
take it
So
easy.
I think my
can't-
dog would appreciate that because he
Yeah.
doesn't leave my side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
hold my breath that long.
For the dogs and those you're making me choke. It's people love their pets.
I know. The reef idea is kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of. How do people come see you then? If you're in the ocean, they got to go to the beach. I mean, you got to go scuba.
Yes, you can snorkel. You can snorkel. You can
snorkel.
Yeah, you can snorkel.
Your son Gio would love it.
And or scuba.
Nobody's gonna visit me. They got to come snorkel. They're not visiting me when I'm alive. You think they're gonna go snorkel?
I honestly believe, and this is not a religious thing at all, is that I think your spirit always is around those that you love, and then your body is just your body. Just
I
my
agree.
opinion.
I agree.
So I'm getting my mausoleum with the
But
with
that,
the DJ
that
equipment.
Neptune Reef is a fantastic space. They've made it look like the lost city of
I saw
Atlantis,
that.
and it's one of the most popular dive sites in the world now.
Is that common, or is that something that you guys thought of?
It's one of a kind in the world.
That's really cool. I saw the way they were putting it together. You seen the film? It's really
It's amazing. Teddy's doing jujitsu in the side room over there with JP. I don't know what
That's the way she relaxes.
we got to get a mat. That child.
She wants to be the podcast loft, and she's talking about how to get up there. She's probably going to build a staircase up to heaven.
Just amazing. And my mother wants to call you. She says, can I really call that nice man I met at Ramona's? I said, that's why you were supposed to meet him. She says, I need to, my mother wants to transfer not their plots, their mausoleum spots. I don't know what they're called. Mausoleum spots.
Mausoleum.
From
Crypt.
one to another.
Mhm,
They're
yeah,
crypt. From one to another. She says, but they're full. I said, well, people move all the time. Maybe it's not full anymore. I said, unless you make a phone call, you're never going to know. So how can people call you?
Yep, 561-654-9000. So
They
give
never
me a
realized
call.
that was a thing. Hey,
Happy to help.
JP, you leaving? You just got here. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. We'll see you soon. We're leaving the restroom for you to decorate. I know. She said, you've never seen a restroom that I can decorate. I can't wait to see it. It's going to have pink feathers and all kinds of sparkles. Guys, so sorry. And I'm glad we've got Susan with us. We haven't seen you in a long time. I was sick, then you were going to join us, and then you got sick that same day.
You were in a car accident, no?
I was in a car accident. And I think what happened that day was just the pain had gotten exacerbated because that Monday after work, I drove all the way to Naples to meet David Schmidt, who is the inventor of the patches. And it was after driving all day long for my day job and then driving back and forth to Naples, I think I just locked up so badly that I was in serious pain. So for 2 days.
Now I have to ask you because I have a show that I do on Tuesday nights, and you've been there, and the doctors that come in, they get interview, and it has been a crazy number of weeks since you've been missing.
Yes.
They have asked me to put a board together, explaining what you do, so that I can put it at the radio station and show when they walk in, ask me about this.
Oh, that's great.
Now this is the concept that I used one time at Starbucks. Starbucks used to be my office at one time. And I had a card, and it used to say, ask me how to build your business. And a lot of people used to come over with the coffee, and they used to, that's how I got this whole coffee thing in my head. And I did it for years, and I did it with less. I did it real well with this. So I'm figuring if you can give me something, we'll talk about it after the show, so I can put
Okay.
up there and make it so that people can call you and what have you, because everybody is intrigued. Now, I've used the product. I'm going to tell you something. Either I'm going crazy, or do you remember when we were moving and I dropped that shield on my foot? And I hurt myself. As a diabetic, these injuries on my feet take forever, and I gotta watch, take forever to heal. And I put that patch, and you gotta see this. It's gone. And even Linda said, what?
It did. What happened, one of those big metal plates that you mount our big TV with, it fell on his leg as we were moving, and it totally abraded the front of his skin. I mean, nothing for stitches, but you had a huge bloody abrasion.
And I put this patch on there, and 3 days later, it scabbed and went cook, and it was it.
Yeah.
And
And
let's
that's
tell
it, that's
people
the
what
thing.
it does.
Well, the patch is, it's in the form of a patch. It's actually considered a grade 1, an FDA-approved grade 1 medical device. Now, this is not FDA approved because there's nothing that goes into the skin. There's no nutrients, no drugs, no supplements that go into the skin. It's not transdermal. But it is a patch that you stick on your skin, and it works with the natural infrared light of your body, activating the release of your own, couple of different things, maybe you've heard of it or not. It releases GHK copper peptide, which is known for releasing your own stem cells. And so it's wonderful for wound healing. In fact, with diabetics, the big scare is that when they get a wound, it doesn't heal. And then they wind up getting infections, and then they wind up getting amputations. And it's both a circulation thing, and also you just don't have access to the stem cells that you used to have when you're older. And so this patch turns back the clock. In fact, I have to tell you about this, what happened with David Schmidt. He's the inventor of this technology. He was so magnanimous, and I know you guys were talking about energy, and you were talking about all of that. And one of the things he said, there was actually a guy who stood up. There were 150 people at this meeting. This guy stood up and he said, "Oh, I know I'm supposed to be here. I could feel it in my heart. I know these things are going to help me. And could I use your name as my mantra to heal my body?" And David Schmidt kind of looked at me and went, "No, because it's not me. You know, yes, I'm the inventor. Yes, I'm the scientist, but it's really channeled information that's coming through me because it works on the light and energy body of who we are. We're so much more than just the physical. And when you work with energy, it sounds like you guys were talking about energy. I walked in on the tail end of that, but we are just so much more than that. And this patch works on the quantum field of the body. So that's, in a sense,
Do
is
you have
what
any
it
with
is.
you?
I have some in my car.
I would love for you to take a look at him, you as well, because with your husband doing his whole anti-aging practice, it might be something that he really
for sure,
that he's
yeah.
really interested in. And my mother calls me. My mother, she goes, "I need to talk to Chuck." I said, "Okay, why?" She goes, "I have a medical question." I said, "Okay, what is it?" She said, "My massage therapist gave me this patch." I tell her what it is. She said, "How do you know?" I said, "Why do you always think that I don't know? Why do you have to talk to the doctor?" I said, as a matter of fact, one of my clients, she says, can I use it? I said, you can absolutely try it and use it. So it's definitely growing and getting around.
Oh, yeah, it is for sure. And I have to say, I have had such tremendous responses, not only from you, Freddie, but from a lot of different people. I patched someone yesterday who was working in the evening doing valet. And he has a very bad back, which was one of the motivators for him to try it. A lot of people have pain reduction, they have increased wound healing, they have increased energy, better sleep, which I think that you mentioned better sleep for yourself as well.
Absolutely.
Later on that night, I texted him just to see how he was doing because it does start to work right away. And he said he already felt a reduction in the pain in his back.
Now, I got to talk to you because when you stop using it, you can feel the change. And there's a question I want to ask you because of what you do. But continuing with this thing is, when you use it, if you put it, I put it for my neuropathy by my ankles. And I got to tell you, I've always had pain on the outside of my ankles. I even went to my heart doctor, Dr. Fields, and I says, I need you to do a test of my arteries because I thought there was something wrong. It came out fine. But when I put the patches on the outside of my ankles, it doesn't hurt anymore. So I don't know. And again, I'm not a doctor. And I have had doctors look at this thing, and then you've been out of action for a little bit because I want to sit and talk to you. You have motivated me in doing something in the health field with Carmen Laser, which is right across the street. And she has 5 professionals that we put on Monday night. And I want you to meet them because you're going to be number 6.
Yes.
And I want to do a health circuit in here for diabetes, for
Okay.
diabetics.
Okay.
And I want to bring them in here, which leads me over here. Because I believe in energy. If you have positive energy around you, you will create a positive space. It's one of the things I learned from the gallery. Positive bleeds positive. How do you motivate that kind of energy? Is it motivational? Can you do it? Or does it happen naturally?
I think, it's a great question. And as Susan, right, you mentioned, we have a body and we have a soul. Now, what happens is that the body consciousness is so loud. If you can think of the body having a voice and the soul having a voice, the soul's voice is so overshadowed and overpowered by the voice of the body because the body is always screaming, feed me. I need chocolate. I need coffee. I need to sleep. I don't want to do carpool. I want this. I don't want this. Like the body, oh my God. The soul needs nourishment in a different way. It needs to be surrounded by like-minded people. It needs to know that its purpose is to create. It's to pick itself up when it falls. It needs to know that it has a greater purpose to heal the world. Like, that's why we're here. Everything we're doing, if we do it with that consciousness and that connection, that I'm here, I'm talking, I'm sitting here on this set, we're sharing. Why? Not because I want to be famous, because it's about healing the world. It's about spreading the message. Now, most people don't look at it that way. So I think the first step is awareness, to know that you have a body and you have a soul, and to accept that, and not to think that it's like, oh my God, woo-woo, soul, spiritual. No.
Well, isn't the true test, and I'm going to use Wayne here for an example. A lot of people see Wayne, his delivery is very smooth. One of the smooth, and I've been doing this business for over 40 years, one of the smoothest. He's a natural at it because he doesn't sell you, he talks to you. Isn't it a true fact that if you can talk to somebody like him about what's eventually going to happen and do it correctly, then you're feeling that kind of spirit? Can that be enhanced? Can you do things to change a person to get into that, or does it come from oneself?
First of all, when I do my signature coaching program with people, the first thing we do is we acknowledge that there's a body and a soul, and we know how to identify the two voices. We know that attached to the body, you ever see, we talk about like those old cartoons, I know I'm dating myself, right, with the little white, the white angel on the right shoulder and the little red
From the
devil on the
Flintstones,
left
right?
shoulder. Exactly.
It was
with
the Flintstones, Kazoo.
Okay. So we educate them on knowing that you have to master this bad guy, as I like to call him, the little red devil on the left shoulder. You have to know when he talks to you. You have to know the rhetoric. You have to know the negative things it tells you. Once you become very mindful, and I call it monitoring your internal dialogue. It's in my book, which I see that
Yes.
John has over there. How to grow. You aren't here to be good. You're here to be better. And we talk about that. Is that You need to really get in touch and slow down and stop and say, who's talking right now? The bad guy that's saying you're not good enough, or the one that's saying delay funeral arranging, I'm never going to die, right? I'm like, I'm never going to get sick. I'm never going to, I'm not good enough. I'm ego, mad. Whenever the conversation is mad, sad, depressed, victim, and anxious, you got to know who's talking, because when you're in that place, the first thing you're doing is disconnecting from source, disconnecting from positive energy. Forget it. Game over. Now, how do you make that loving, caring, sharing, creating voice stronger? Surrounding yourself by like-minded people. Asking someone to work with you. Asking someone to be like a voice for you, like a mirror, to say, hey, I see you're walking down the path of victim today. It's kind of yucky. Like, do you even recognize? Do you even know that you're not on your game? Do you even know that you're being selfish and taking and all these, whatever?
But you want to say that to someone. And sometimes those are the people that are closest to you. And you're like, how is this continuing to happen? And
I did something, Dawn, this past week. Okay, so what happened, and I hope my friend's not listening because she might shoot me. But
well, now you know she is.
So here's how it works. First of all, I'm doing an online coaching program called Your Soulmate Awaits for single women who want to find their ultimate level soulmate. And one of the things we're going to be talking in next week's class about is a contract. So when you get involved, so there's two types of people. We have the people that are closest to us, and we want to be in relationship, and we're invested, right? Those people, we have like an unwritten contract. When you're married, I do a written contract. And what does that contract look like? I'm here to support you growing into the best version of you. Because together, we're greater, we're stronger, we're better, like the $6 Million Man, aging myself again. And the side benefit of that, the fallout of that, is we heal the world. We become we have a powerful impact on the world for good. So what happens is that this contract, when people know who you are and you walk through life as a positive beacon, as you walk through life, like, people know to expect from you truth. They know that you're not going to sit there and just shoot the breeze. They know that you're not going to sit there and listen to talking negatively about other people. They just know that about you. It becomes your brand. It becomes who you are. So people will once they get to know you and know that you're going to stand up for what's right and true and real and positive, they're not going to usually shoot their mouth off. So we had a situation with a dear friend of mine who was a leader in a medical field. And she has a medical condition that is very painful, and she lives with pain 24/7. And what was happening was people were coming to me and saying, hey, you know her. Her posts are so negative on Facebook that it's really turning people away. Do you think you can talk to her? I'm like, really? You're putting this one on me? And I sat there with it, Freddie, for about a week. What do I do? What do I say? How do I share with her in a way that's just for her highest good and potential? Because it wasn't about me at this point. It was about her, especially because she's in a place of influence and she's out there. So it took me about a week, and I kept asking, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? I kept asking, do I say? When's the right time? When's not to say? How do I do it when I'm coming from a place of just true caring for the other person? No other agenda than that. Finally, I woke up one morning and I said, okay, it's time. Just like that, it's time. I called her. I said, do you have a minute for me? We sat down, we spoke, and I said to her, I said, listen, I got to share this with you because I care for you so much. And I know you have the ability to impact so many people for the better. I just want you to know that if you would just do a small switch, if you would just share your posts in a way that was positive, you would empower so many more people. Because the way they're coming off right now, they're kind of off-putting.
And what was her reaction?
Do you know that she immediately changed the tone of her posts, and she set out a group post saying that from now until this time, I want us to sit there and talk about gratitude.
I read that post.
You did?
I read this post, and I was wondering, I don't know how, I know so many people on Facebook.
Okay, we'll talk about it after to make sure we're talking about the same person.
But she was apologizing if she offended people, and she changed the whole aura of what she was talking about. I don't run across many of these, and I don't read many of it because I think Facebook is crazy to begin with. But I remember reading this. I'm saying, boy, did I miss the first part of this? Because I don't think I read the negative stuff.
And you know what? How powerful is that? It's only then when we can stand for other people, because it goes back to living life like you're alive, the energy of this week, when we're walking around in pain and we have so much chaos in our life and stuff is going south. The default setting is to become negative, sad, mad, depressed.
You fall into a rut, and it's a spin.
And it
that's-
just perpetuates
Yep,
itself.
you can't get out of this hole. And yet, it's so much of what you deal with, Susan, as an energy light worker, as well as maybe you can even help this lady with her pain.
Well, not only that, but there's so many things about what you said that, you know, Freddie and Dawn know that I went through cancer 2 years ago, and it was in the changing my mindset that really allowed me to release everything that I was holding on to.
Did you have anyone like being a real support for you, like
Yes.
someone? There you
Yes,
go.
yes. But not only is it the energy, and I want to get back to the energy also regarding the patch, because as David Schmidt said, energy changes chemistry. And we'll talk more about that in a second. And that's what these patches work on, is the energy changes the chemistry of the body. It allows you to access these DNA cells that you lose access to as you age. But the other thing is I'm also a face yoga method instructor. And I've put together a class that's called Mind Your Face. And the reason being is that so many people carry their expression on their face, not knowing that they're walking around with a frown, you know, or an angry look. They think they're happy, but it's coming across as anger. And so what happens is, especially in the field that I'm in, working with doctors and nurses and people in assisted living facilities, they're winding up looking angry when they don't mean to be, and it's affecting the way in which they deal with the patients.
They call it resting something face, right?
Yes, resting something face, yeah. Or as Wanda Sykes calls it, her resting what the F face. You know, just it's that look that unless you're mindful about the way in which you're holding not only your body but your face, you're communicating without even knowing. And so one of the things that I love to do is teach this class about just that, and to be mindful of their face. And one of the ways in which people can be more mindful about the way in which they carry their face is to start exercising the muscles of the face, because then it gives you access to relax it.
You know, it's really funny you say that, because one of the things I love is I love to find the angry and the ones that are always pushing away, the ones that are negative and everything else, because I have a theory. I believe that if you can help that person, you can help everybody who's doing well. You know, one of the things that you work with is the truth of life when it comes to an end. And you have to be able to have this conversation, to be comfortable to have this.
I think
It
you have
affects
to
your
be
life.
empathetic, like have a
Yeah, I
real
mean,
sense of real authentic empathy.
It can be tough because it's not a nice thing to talk about. And one of the things that I always say when I meet people is, you know, today we're going to talk about the end of your life, you know, and that's not a comfortable conversation. But really, what we're talking about is protecting your family, because unfortunately, none of us escape this. You know, we all die, so we know what's going to happen. So let's plan for it. And if you do it ahead of time, then there's lots that I can do to help you and your family to ease their emotional and financial burdens, get this in place, and let you decide how you want to be remembered. And you can get that set, and you can concentrate on living the rest of your life. And then when the time comes, we can have a beautiful ceremony, celebrate your life, rather than concentrating on the death. And it's much easier for your family. So that's what we're about.
Raising that whole vibration that you're talking about, feeling good about yourself. I mean, it all comes round circle. It's all part of energizing this place. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to bring in ideas. I mean, we were talking about doing something in the big deal here when he's interviewing. You can have a whole seminar out there. It's big enough to do all of this now. To have a seminar and give people a chance to hang their hat with a little bit of positivity in your life. I gotta tell you, I tell my sons all the time, I don't gotta be negative towards you. Life out there is going to challenge you.
But I was on the phone with your son last night, and he is remarkable, Giovanni, and he's our executive producer, and I'm so excited he's coming in next week to help wire and do everything he does. But he actually put some things in perspective for you, and he's like, Dad, you always told me.
Yes, my son shocks me all the time with this. Dad, you taught me, you always told me.
Isn't that the greatest feeling in the
My
world?
goodness
Oh.
gracious, I don't know where to hide.
I'm waiting
and
for
I
it.
said, I say to him, you remember that? He says, I lived that.
Oh.
Wow.
Right?
You
And
did
I
good.
texted him afterwards, thanking him for everything that he said because you needed it.
I did.
Because we all get wrapped up in what we're doing, and your son, at 21 years old, right? He's a husband and he's a father and he's a remarkable man. Says, "Dad, you always said it all works out, and it will." And I thought that was amazing that he actually said that.
He says, don't give yourself a straw. And this is not giving myself a straw. I need to know what works where, how does it work, and how we can
But
implement.
Freddie, you're doing it. He said something so beautiful, and it's just about putting one foot in front of the other, continuing to do your part. We say in French, en faire non plus que possible.
That sounds so sexy.
I just.
Just go get a banana.
Go get a banana.
What does it mean?
It means we do the best we can do, we push ourselves to our maximum, and then we leave room for the universe to partner with us.
Good to it.
Because it's the height of ego, and to just think that you can do it all, that you are the one who created everything. If you create that partnership, then everything you need, you're going to be at the right place at the right time. You're not going to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, but you do have to do the work.
Amen. I think that is truly spectacular when you do everything you can physically do, and then the rest you got to give it to the
You just
universe,
gotta
to
give it
God,
up.
to whatever you got to give it to.
And there's always going to be blanks. Always blanks to fill. You know, my other son, Freddie, and Wayne knows him. That's how we got to meet. He's the same way. And he looks at me and he says, Dad, this is what you taught me. This is what I'm waiting for. Because we always believe you got to wait for the game to come to you. Stop pressing the issue. It's just frustration, or buy some Tylenol because you're going to need it. Wait till the game comes to you, and then you react.
But look how we've come full circle, right? The 12 o'clock hour, they came on, our crew came on, and we were talking about technology and setting boundaries. And what does it come down to? It goes back to our Monday conversations, really what it was, is parents or guardians, whoever's taking care of the youth, setting boundaries and leading by example. And that's how people learn. That's how our children learn.
I know, but the boundaries these days are so hard to work with. People don't want to live with boundaries. They don't want. I want it all. I want to have it all. I want it, and I want it now. Don't tell me I can only have it after I work for it. Don't tell me I can have it. I can have my dessert after I eat my peas. Don't tell me. We live in a society right now. No one wants to be told anything, and don't get me on a rant.
Well, we'll talk
Okay.
about that next time. But you know what? I said to Freddie the other day, we only have one body. He says, yes, Einstein, we only have one body. I said, but I mean, it's bigger than that. We have one physical body. And one thing we have to do in life is we will die. So you take care of the one physical body you have. Take care of your soul, right? It goes back to the energy.
I have something to say. I just learned. I just was learning this week, and I
Yes.
think you'll find this very interesting when it comes to death, and it just falls into this. I was thinking, oh, when am I going to share this? But I just learned, one of the ancient sages talks about how you have 3 chances to get it right. After that, your name is erased from the book. So talking about reincarnation. So what did he mean about that? I'm sure I did a little bit of investigating and learning. I'm sure it's deeper than this. But what he was basically relaying was that if we walk through life, living life, like we really are living it, loving, caring, sharing, changing, transforming, growing from good to better, then we'll be given an opportunity time and time again to come back and get it right.
Purity of life, purity of heart is the path. Right?
That'd be an interesting show. And we're at Dignity. Maybe we can.
Oh, I would love to
right?
do that.
Maybe on that
Oh,
Wednesday.
that's one
It
of my
happens to be
favorite.
a Wednesday, and that might be a great show. Let's give out some information.
Let's get the information.
Where can people find you in your patch? Can we even say what it's called?
Yeah,
What do we
it's,
call it? Susan's patch?
Susan.
I wish it were my patch. No, it's the X39 patch.
We gotta give
They
it
could.
something sexier than that.
That's as sexy as
Maybe
it
we should
gets.
say it in
Yes.
French. Le X39.
There you go.
That's sexy.
X39.
I don't care what you call this.
The
This thing
X39.
works.
Yes,
This thing is
yes.
unbelievable. We
It's
gotta
the
give
real
it a
deal.
name.
It's the real deal.
The health
That's
patch
all.
or something.
Well,
Call
it's a stem cell
Susan
patch.
and
Yes.
just try it out. And how
Yes.
do they do that?
They could call me at 561-929-1627. I'm even willing to give some patches for people to try.
I would
So
definitely want
give
you
me
to
a call.
try.
Yeah.
Let your husband
They're
try it
fabulous.
as
I would love
well.
my husband
Yes.
to try it. Yes.
Wayne, how do people find you?
Yep, we've got some great discounts going on at the moment, end of year. Sounds crazy, but prices always go up in January, and even
all for a discount.
Neptune Reef got 20%
Can we
discount.
get a coupon?
We do, yeah. Anyway, 20% discount on the Reef. We've got up to 15% discount on the other things, and prices always go up. And this is the greatest gift you can give your family.
Christmas is coming.
So come on, stocking stuffer. There you go. You know.
You know, it really is.
At their age, but if you think about this and you start this now, and in I don't know, 10 years is all paid up for, you don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna tell you. No, it's not.
He has life insurance, he said.
It's not even that. The sorrow
Yeah.
of laying to rest. Like I had to lay my brother to rest 18 years ago, and now my mom, and then my dad. I'm gonna tell you, it is hard to be able to stay focused on what you got to do when you have all these other things behind you. So take 20. I love
Anyway,
a coupon.
if you want to learn more, if you've been thinking about it and you're procrastinating, now's the time.
You go
give
to
me
the
a call.
house to talk to people?
Sure. We do it all the time.
What's your phone number?
561-654-9000. And if you're outside Florida watching or hearing this, just go to dignitymemorial.com. You can find one of our 2,600 locations nearest you.
That's remarkable.
First time you heard it on the show.
2,600. Amazing. And Ann?
So I can be reached at Ann with an E, Shoshana D, like divine, at gmail.com. If anybody is interested in growing from good to better. And
they can follow you on Facebook.
Follow me on Facebook
and
at
you
Ann
should.
Shoshana Dector as well.
You have a huge following, by the way. Huge following.
Thank
She
you.
does. And what you
Because
are
I share a
authentically who you
huge
are.
message that has truly changed my life, and it's all about healing the world.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk. We've only scratched the surface with you. There's so much more. Have a great day, everyone.
First show done.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on the new
Thank you.
space. It's amazing.
Welcome home, Freddie.
We're going to make it bigger and better, and we're going to be doing we got some secret announcements, and I'm going to let you know about that tomorrow.
Where's the paper towel wall?
We need to, absolutely.
We're going to have to use that space over there because the fire department is going to want to know if you're going to put it behind glass.
Are you doing that black chalkboard?
I would
wall,
like to
right?
do a black chalkboard or a white erase board. We got a lot of
Why
things.
don't you just keep throwing more at us? Why don't you?
That's the journey. Enjoy it. That's
right.
living life like you are alive.
It's enjoying the process. It's not that everything has to be done as soon as we
Exactly.
moved in. It's the
Enjoy
process
it.
of creating this space.
Yes.
And you know what? It's here to share the creation with
yes.
everybody.
Yes.
Have a great day, everyone. Be kind to each other. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a great day.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more goodwill next time. You can follow the cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.